Getting to know me, getting to know all about me. Y'all wanted more singing, that was your fault. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Chris, and today's video is the Getting to Know the Small Booktuber tag. Now I am quite small at 5'3", and I'm a booktuber, so we're going to get to know me today. Essentially, I'm queer, I like beer. What more is there to know? Seriously though, there are 6 questions in here just to get to know me a little bit better, more personally, outside of the books, and there are some questions relating to books here as well. The first question is to introduce myself. Hello everyone, my name is Chris, I am 31, well I'm 30, but I'll be 31 in a couple of weeks time, so we may as well just count it. I am an FTM transgender person. What that means is I was assigned female at birth, and I identify and present to the world as male. This has been a really big part of my life. I only figured it out. I put 2 and 2 together at the age of 26, which is much older than a lot of people go through transition, but then again, younger than some other people go through it. So, you know what? There is no age limit on these things, but at 26, I had a holy moment where I was like, everything makes much more sense now that that has clicked in my head. So I went through transition pretty late in life, much past the puberty. I'd lived as a woman for 26 years and then put 2 and 2 together, and I have to say I have not been happier. I am a Virgo, which means I'm not fun at all, and I really like to plan things to the point of making things that should be fun into work, which we'll get into later. In terms of my past, I've got 2 uni degrees. I started a 3rd one not that long ago and then just put that one in the bin. So my 2 degrees are marketing, majoring in market research, which is something practical for the business world, which I thought I was going to go into, and the other one is Asian Studies and International Politics. Now this was basically just because I was really interested in particularly Asian Studies and Asian politics and all the sort of stuff that went on in the past, which is why I really love Asian fantasies, because I'm still so fascinated by the politics of that part of the world, because it is so different to the westernized version of politics that we see over here. I started a Masters of Counseling thinking that I like to help people, and then I realized that I'm very interested in the theory behind it and what makes people tick, and I really enjoy listening to people who want to help themselves. But if it comes to a person who does not want to help themselves and does not know how to help themselves, and I'm listening to the same shit over and over again because I hate repetition and no action, I also am very big on doing. Actions speak louder than words. I get the shit. So it turns out that may not be the best profession for a cranky soul who does not like repetition. So I put that one to the side and I did not continue with it. I also want to be an author, so I've currently got 2 works in progress. They're in the same world. One is a novella and one is a full-length novel. It's portal fantasy, it's questy fantasy. I love literary RPGs and that feel of adventure quest fantasy, and I also don't mind a bit of time travel and a bit of portal fantasy, so I'm trying to like mush them together, and I have about 4,000 ideas in my head, and it's all about sitting down, putting your bum on a seat and just typing some words, and the writing sprints that I've been doing on this channel have been helping heaps. What else is there to know about me? I'm just a cranky old soul. I'm not funny, I have a very dry sense of humor, and I am just serious. I don't know how to have fun. Yeah, that's some random crap that we can throw in there. My favorite color is green, like a deep forest green. Just love green in all things. Emerald green, also excellent. Don't mind a bit of that appley green that people hate. I love that on cars, and my wife absolutely hates it. She's like, why do you want to drive a snotmobile? And I was like, it's green. I like green. Green's good. I learnt Mandarin for 8 years of my life and then I let it go. I can still understand people when they're talking around me and pick up on certain words. If I'm looking at a text that is Mandarin, I can still understand some of it, which is kind of cool. Just that muscle memory that doesn't leave the brain. If I had to eat one meal for the rest of my life, it would be either lasagna or a burrito. I am a quarter Italian, and I can say one sentence in Italian, and that's please stop annoying me. So, you know, there's that. Moving on to the next question. Question number 2 is, how long have you been on Booktube? So I started Booktube with a vlog, I'm pretty sure, one of those end of month reading vlogs, or at least that's the first video that I started to film, and that was towards the end of January 2022. So I'm coming up to 6 or 7 months now. It's been a wild ride. I've really enjoyed my time here. As I said in my first video, I really wanted to get into the indie fantasy scene, and I didn't know how long it was going to take me to follow the Booktube formula and then get into it, and it's happened much faster than I thought it would, which has been absolutely excellent. Plus the community here on Booktube and Bookstagram is just so wholesome and lovely, and I haven't been a part of any of the drama, so I haven't seen it personally. What type of videos do you make? Sorry, that is question 3. So books, I make videos about books. That's why I'm here. I like books. I've really stuck to the generic Booktube formula, so book hauls, wrap-ups, TBRs, MBRs, whatever you want to call them, reviews and vlogs essentially make up this channel. There have been a few discussion videos, there have been a few sort of videos where I've tried to introduce new authors to the audience, and that's been really fun, but generally a fairly standard Booktube formula has been followed on this channel. Now that I am finding my personality a little bit more in this space, I hope to expand the styles of videos that I'm doing, but I am really scared about making things like why you should read an entire series, because I don't know, read it, like so we'll see how we go from there. What do you love about Booktube? This is twofold, and one of them is the community, so be ready for that. But first of all, I want to say that I love the space that this gives people who don't necessarily have that space to talk about the things they love in terms of books. So books are the thing that I am the most passionate about, and I've only rediscovered that passion fairly recently. I fell out of love with reading when I went into academia because everything I was reading was academic. And although it was interesting, it wasn't something that I was doing for fun, I was doing it for a purpose. So I fell out of love of reading fiction. I also come from a space, and my parents, bless them, my father is very much of you're this age, you should be doing this thing. So you're an adult now, why are you still reading fantasy? And it took me a really long time, and that came from having me at 19, you know, like they were so young, I wasn't planned, and they had to grow up very quickly. So the ideas behind that is, you're this age, you should be an adult, came from their own upbringing, and there's no blame for that. But it took me a really long time to unlatch that thought process from my own brain to say, you know what? Who cares what age you are? Read what you want. And Booktube, even before I started making videos, gave me a space to feel that again, and gave me a space to become passionate about this thing that I loved so much and I just forgot about for a number of years. Remember how I said before that I'm not fun? Well, this is where we get into it. I tend to make my hobbies and things that I enjoy doing into a job. So I essentially have a full 40-hour-a-week, 9-to-5 job, and then I make this side of my life another 40-hour-a-week commitment. I need to schedule in my fun time for me, otherwise it doesn't happen. I will continually go and find things that I can do. It's just the way that my brain works. So if I schedule in filming or editing or reading to do reviews, or just reading for enjoyment, those things need to be scheduled in, and this space allows me to do that. So I guess in short, the space that this provides me. Also, my wife was like, please find some other friends, because I cannot listen to you crap on about books anymore. And the second is the community. So following on from that is, a lot of people say this, the community that Booktube and Bookstagram has is so wholesome and lovely. I haven't run across anyone that has been negative towards me, which is very different from the old YouTube channel that I had, where I talked about transition and sort of went from, you know, a trans baby to earlier this year when I closed off that channel and stopped making content for it. But it's just so supportive and loving. We're all just nerds, nerding out together, being excited over books, and that's something truly amazing. Next up is question 5. What types of books do you read? So at the moment, I've pretty much focused on fantasy predominantly. I do read quite a few other genres and I enjoy a few other genres, but I fell back in love with reading because of the fantasy genre. And within that, the sci-fi and self-pub scene has definitely taken my heart over the last couple of months. We've got this shelf here, some of this shelf, and then the one behind me here is all self-pub, and I hope that that continues to grow over the next couple of years while I'm filling out shelves and buying more shelves and telling my wife that I'm just filling them out. You know how it goes, you're book collectors. I've become so passionate about this genre and this style of publishing that I don't see it ending anytime soon. But that being said, I do read and do enjoy quite a lot of other genres. One that sort of follows on from fantasy is historical fiction. I recently made a video where I talked about historical fiction that I have read and historical fiction that I would like to read in the future. I'd definitely like to dabble a little bit more in that in the coming months. Also horror, I really enjoy reading horror, particularly the abstract and very artsy horror that sometimes doesn't really give you a clear indication of whatever is happening towards the end of it. I like to be kept guessing. Atmospheric horror is very, very cool to me, but I do like the standard stuff as well. Can't wait for spooky season so I can get into some more horror and even jump into some indie authors in the horror genre as well. I'm excited to do that. I like contemporary books that sort of focus more on thematics and philosophy and are questioning things. I like character studies where we really get deep dives into people, whether that be fictional or in the form of a memoir. I don't read a whole lot of non-fiction, but when I do tend to gravitate to the memoir side of things. And yeah, just drama. I love a family saga. I grew up on VC Andrews, who was just wrote some messed up family stuff, and I don't mind a good drama as well. The only genre I don't really gravitate towards is romance. I'm not a particularly romantic person myself. I have a person, and that's who I want to be with for the rest of my life. I really don't care about the gooey stuff. I know a lot of people love it, and that's great. It's just not something that draws me in. I don't mind romance within other genres, and I can be quite gripped with romance aspects. Now, I thought that was not the case until I read the Pillars of Peace trilogy. I got so sucked into the romances in that trilogy, I was like, maybe I don't hate it. But yeah, anything straight up romance, smart, not going to go towards. I don't typically read YA just because I don't like a lot of the tropes that YA books have in them. That being said, I do have a couple that I would like to try and see if maybe they grip my attention, but normally they just don't. They don't work for me, so they're the only things that I don't really go towards. Question number 6 is, what are your favorite video or videos that you have made? I would honestly like to say the best is yet to come. The reason for that is I have been doing the Booktube formula. I haven't really spoken out and put my own original content, for lack of a better word, out into the world, and I have some of those videos planned. They're the ones that I've put the most effort into. They're the ones that I've researched. I've got articles to link down in the description below. I don't necessarily think those videos are going to do super well on the platform, but they are videos that I want to make. For an example, the one that I've got planned coming out sometime soon is all about literary RPGs, and it's a bit of a deep dive into the subgenre and why it exists, as well as why it's so important to fantasy and sci-fi, and then give a list of, series that I would like to read in the future. And that sort of content excites me. So that is a future video that I'll be putting out at some point. It's already planned, it's been researched, the article's written up, and I'm just waiting to get some time to film it properly and do it justice. In terms of videos that are currently on the channel, the most fun videos to film are the tag videos, because they make my brain expand a little bit. I've got to really think about the answers and what I'm putting out there in the world, plus I get to make Booktube friends. Once I tag people or get tagged in them, I haven't really done a whole lot of tagging myself, but I'm looking forward to doing more of these and making some more friends along the way. And then, other than that, any video that sparks a conversation. I like the book reviews because the books that I have dedicated reviews for are all indie and self-pub. That's what I wanted to do here on the channel, so I'm pretty happy with those. I've definitely gotten better over time, or I'd like to think that I've gotten better over time, and the quality of those will again improve. I definitely think that my specialty is the short, sharper, rapid reviews rather than the really big, in-depth ones, but let me know if you want me to go more in-depth. I just don't think that it's my specialty or my style. So if you want more in-depth stuff, I do write huge reviews over on epicindie.net. which we've talked about earlier in July. So those are all the questions. The 7th question is to tag 4 people. Now, honestly, I haven't made a whole lot of Booktube friends. Most of the people that I follow have already got a decent audience or have already been tagged in this video here. So I would like to tag Read by Kyle if you haven't done this already. I really enjoy Kyle's videos. Also, he has bunnies and they're really cute, so I'll pop his channel down below. I'd also like to tag Kay's Hidden Bookshelf. I don't know if you have done this one yet, but I'd like to get to know a little bit more about you. Maybe I just haven't scrolled far enough back in your videos, but that would be nice to have this video from you as well. Another one that I've really enjoyed recently is Ian the Reader. I don't know which Discord server that I caught his channels on. It was either, I'd like to say, Andrew's Wizardly Reads or Dominish Books Discord, but I clicked on his videos and I've really enjoyed Ian's content, so I'll tag you as well. Sorry about the cars people drive, and it's unfortunate, but you know, it happens. And that's it. I'm going to tag 3 rather than 4 just while I build up my my little Booktube network, so I'll tag you guys below if you want to do them. You are more than welcome to. That's it from me. If you like the content, give it one of these. If you want to see more of it, then click subscribe at your will, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.